Thanks everybody for joining me. EadsyAstronomy newsletter this week. Trying a new environment, not in the office. Sitting out here in the family room with the kitchen behind me. So this is the newsletter for March 1st to March 7th. As you can see here on the moon calendar, lunar calendar, which I've posted for March, we're in a waxing gibbous moon on Sunday and Monday, 97.4% to 99.7%, to full moon on Tuesday, March 3rd. We begin then going into the waning gibbous phase, going from 97.4 down to 80.3 on Saturday. And we'll continue to have the moon rise later in the evening as we get later in the week. This is not the week for deep sky observing or imaging, as the moon will wash out fainter galaxies and nebula, planets, double stars, and open clusters, and the moon itself this week on March 3rd, Tuesday, will be the best bet during this week. In addition, like I mentioned, we have a full lunar eclipse on Tuesday, March 3rd. We also have a rare alignment of planets that are low on the horizon this week. Venus and Saturn are very low to the west as they continue to move toward a close conjunction just outside this window on Sunday, March 8th. So be aware of that coming up. Venus during this week will appear as a very brilliant point of light, with Saturn appearing as a dimmer yellowish point nearby to Venus. Look for Jupiter high in the sky this week in the southeast in the evening and transitioning up to zenith. Beautiful target for telescopes, for binoculars, or even just visually as you're looking up. I know as I take our new puppy, Basset Hound puppy, out at night for her potty runs, I'm always looking up, and Jupiter's just hanging up there beautifully. Anyway, let's get through the highlights. The main event this week is the total lunar eclipse on March 3rd. It's the highlight of the week. It's happening early in the morning on Tuesday. You're going to have to get up for this one. During totality, the full warm moon will pass through Earth's shadow and turn a deep coppery orange or crimson red. Visibility will be visible across North America, Australia, East Asia, and the Pacific. And I don't know why it put a strike through here, but let's take that strike out. In the Pacific time zone, partial phase will begin about 1:50 with totality starting about 3:04 a.m., lasting nearly an hour. I know here in Mountain Time that's 2:50 a.m. that it's going to begin. Totality at about 4:04 a.m., lasting till about 5 o'clock a.m. So I'll be getting up early on Tuesday morning next week. Planetary pairings and events. Venus Saturn conjunction March 7th. On the evening of March 7th, Venus and Saturn will be extremely close, less than 1 degree apart, very low in the western sky, right after sunset, if you want to take a look at that. The evening, that'd be a very interesting image sketch too. The evening parade throughout the week, look west after sunset to see Venus. It will be brilliant white, Saturn dimmer yellow, moving toward their conjunction, while Jupiter remains high in the southeast. You have a Regulus occultation on March 2nd. The moon will pass in front of Regulus, the brightest star in the constellation of Leo, which is up in the eastern sky at that time. Let's talk about comets again. You can go to the comet section when we get there. In the weekly newsletter, there's 3 primary comets to track this week. You have C 2024 E1 Wirchos. It's the easiest target at 8.5 magnitude, visible in binoculars after sunset in the constellation of Cetus and Redness. 10P Temple 2, a pre-dawn target at 10.5 magnitude, best viewed with a small telescope in the southern sky. And then you have Comet C 2026 A1 Maps. It's a more challenging target at 12.5 magnitude. It's going to require an 8-inch or larger telescope, and it's going to be low in the south at dawn. And we'll talk more about those. Galaxy season begins. Personally, you'll see when we get to the deep sky section, I believe every season has galaxies galore, but you got to admit, spring is the king of galaxy season. As the moon wanes later in this week and comes up later, it's a prime time to observe like the Leo triplet, Bode's galaxy, and several of the galaxies in Ursa Major. And if you do it early in the evening, there's some wonderful double stars we're going to talk about. Uh, Beautiful, colorful double stars like Algebra, Golden Giants in Leo, and the famous Mizar and Alcar in the Big Dipper are going to be up later in the evening to take a look at. So again, let's go through comets really quick. If you go to Skyhound, here is the link for the finder charts and information for each comet that's visible visually. You can also go to Starwalk at that link and get some information there. Warchos is probably Comet C 2024 E1. It's the most accessible comet for amateurs this week. It's a new comet from the Oort cloud, and it's behaving slightly better than originally predicted. Its brightness is about magnitude 8.5. It's visible in binoculars or even a small telescope. It's moving through the constellation of Cetus the Whale near the border of Redness the River. So you're going to want to do it early in the evening to late evening. Look low in the south-southwest sky just after dusk, like I was saying. On March 1st, it crosses into Redness. By mid-March, it will cross the celestial equator, become even better placed for northern observers. So, you're going to want to watch the Warchos as it comes in. The one to watch, the big one people have talked about, I've done a post on this one, C 2026 A1 maps, discovered only in late January. This is a Kreutz sun grazer, the same family as the famous comets of 1965 and 2011. It will be a spectacular naked eye object in April. This week is the time for serious amateur astronomers to track its early approach. Its brightness is 12 to 13th magnitude, mid to large telescope, 8-inch aperture or larger, unless you're imaging it. Where to look? It's currently very faint and low in the sky, primarily visible from the southern hemisphere or very low on the southern horizon for northern observers. Why should you take a look at it now? It's brightening rapidly as it dives toward its April 4th perihelion. Tracking it now allows you to see the development of its coma before it gets lost in the sun's glare later this month. If you image or sketch this now, it will make a great comparison after the comet returns from perihelion from behind the sun on April 4th. Of course, that will depend whether it survives its close encounter with the sun, of course. But one to watch. We'll see what happens with it. Binocular target 10P Temple 2. It's a periodic Jupiter family comet. It's just beginning to enter the visual range for amateur equipment. Its brightness is 10th to 11th magnitude. Large binoculars, small telescope. Where to look? It's gradually climbing in the morning sky. So if you're up for the lunar eclipse, you might want to just pop over and see if you can see it. Because the full moon on March 3rd, wait until the very end of the week, March 6th, 7th, to seek this one out, as the moonlight will wash out its faint fuzzy coma. So don't look for it on the eclipse. I should have looked at that before I said that comment. But anyway, wait till later in the week, get up early, and see if you can get out and take a look at it. And there's a little chart for you to look at, and kind of just gives you a quick reference. Of course, the total lunar eclipse, March 3rd. The highlight this week is that total lunar eclipse on the full warm moon. The blood moon event will be visible in North America, Australia, East Asia, and in the Pacific. The red phase, for 58 minutes, the moon will be completely immersed in Earth's umbral shadow, taking on that coppery or deep crimson hue. Pacific time, 3:04 to 4:02 a.m. Mountain time, 4:04 to 5:02, and UTC is 11:04 to 12:02. If you're on the central time zone, you're looking at 5:04 to 6:02, basically. East Coast, you're looking 6:02 to 7:02. You're going to be pushing sunrise with that one if you're in the east. You're going to need a low flat horizon. That would be best. The navy blue fringe, unique feature to watch for during peak totality, is a subtle navy blue fringe at the moon's edge caused by ozone in the Earth's upper atmosphere. Partial phases, look for the curved bites taken out of the moon starting at 4:05 Eastern Time, 1:05 Pacific as it enters the umbra. And then the diamond ring effect, as the moon enters or leaves the Earth's dark inner shadow, the umbra, look for the first or last sliver of bright sunlight hitting the lunar limb. Kind of gives you a diamond ring effect there, kind of like a solar eclipse. Color variations, look for the different differences in color across the lunar disk. The center of the shadow is often darker. The edges may have a more bluish or lighter orange tint. Here is a little chart in the newsletter. You can see Eastern 6:04 to 7:02, Central 5:04 to 6:02, Mountains 4:04 to 5:02, Pacific, you're the winner at 3:04 to 4:02. Not bad for me. I'm usually up at that time. Lunar conjunctions and occultations this week. Besides the eclipse, the moon's going to pass there by several bright stars and planets this week. March 2nd, Regulus occultation. The moon will pass in front or occult Regulus, the brightest star in Leo. March 6th, Spica is near the moon. Look for the bright blue-white star Spica in the constellation of Virgo appearing near the waning gibbous moon. There's some notable lunar features to observe this week because the moon is full. On March 3rd, traditional crater hopping is difficult due to the lack of shadows and contrast. However, this is the best time to observe the ray systems. Look for those brilliant white splatter marks radiating from young craters like Tycho, Copernicus, and Kepler, which are most prominent under full illumination. So, great time to look at the rays. Albedo features observes the stark contrast between the dark basaltic Maria seas and the lighter rugged highlands. That's a good thing to do too. And then look for Earthshine March 6th and 7th. As the moon wanes into its gibbous phase later in the week, you may begin to see Earthshine, the faint glow on the unlit portion of the moon caused by sunlight reflecting off the Earth. If you're looking at full moon targets, well, the moon is nearly full illuminated, shadows disappear, making that traditional crater viewing and imaging and sketching difficult. Instead, focus on the albedo features, differences in the surface brightness, Tycho's rays, which we talked about. It's a young crater in the southern highlands. It becomes a brilliant white splatter mark with rays extending thousands of miles across the surface. Copernicus and Kepler craters show a prominent bright ray system that stand out against the dark lunar Maria seas. And then anyway, post-eclipse, as we go into that, you got Oceanus Proclarium. As the Terminator moves across this vast dark plain, look for the complex ridges and small volcanic domes that are there. Grimaldi, I love Grimaldi, a large dark floored crater near the western limb that becomes particularly striking as the sun begins to set over it, highlighting some images and contrasting some of the ridges in there. Gassendi, a beautiful large crater, yes, on the edge of Mare Humorum, with a fractured floor and central peaks that cast long shadows late in the week if you're observing there. Double stars, first week of March, excellent time for double star observing. Galaxies and nebula may be washed out by the bright moon leading up to the total eclipse on March 3rd. Double stars remain for the whole week, crisp and colorful, even in bright skies throughout this whole week. You got Mizar and Alcar as Ursa Major is beginning to rise as we're getting into spring. Horse and the Rider, it's the most famous naked eye double star located in the bend off the Big Dipper's handle. It's a good test of your visual abilities. Telescope surprise, if you look at it at a telescope, the brightest star Mizar splits into a closer pair, Mizar A and B, and they're separated by 14 arc seconds. Really cool to see. It's actually a very complex six-star system. Just a little fun fact there. You have Castor and Gemini, the leader, one of the twins of Gemini. Castor is a brilliant white star. Splits easily into two nearly equal bright components, Castor A and B, at 50 times magnification. There's a distant companion. Look for the dimmer 9th magnitude. Probably need to be in a little darker sky. Castor C nearby, which appears reddish in contrast to the other two. Algebra, Gamma Leonis. Golden Giants, often called the finest double star in the spring sky. Algebra sits in the sickle of Leo. It consists of two bright orange and yellow gold giant stars separated by about 4.7 arc seconds. They look like two golden drops of light. Beautiful to see. Always like seeing them. You have Corelli in Canis Venatici. Charles's Heart, located near the handle of the Big Dipper. It's the brightest star in its small constellation. The color contrast in a small telescope will easily split it. It's a brilliant blue-white primary and a dimmer lilac or cream-colored companion. Beautiful to see. Take the time to see that. Iota Canceri in Cancer. Spring alberio, often compared to the famous double alberio, and you can compare that to the winter alberio, which we talked about last week. This pair offers a beautiful gold and pale blue color contrast. The primary is bright yellow giant, while the secondary is a smaller white-blue main sequence star, so they make a good contrast there. You have Beta Monocertius in Monoceros. It's a triple wonder located just to the left of Orion. This is widely considered the finest triple star system in the sky. Three brilliant blue-white stars arranged in a gentle, soft curve. They are close enough to require a telescope, but bright enough to see even from most suburban locations. You have Alpha Piscium, the knot, representing the knot in the cords holding the two fish of Pisces together. This is a tighter pair, 1.8 arc seconds, that will test your telescope's optics and the stability of the air. You want good seeing for this one. They appear as crisp white points. You need to do this shortly after sunset before this drops below the western horizon. Then you have Regulus. Wide pair. Regulus itself is brilliant white, blue-white star, 7.6 magnitude companion, visible in small telescopes about 177 arcseconds away. March 2nd special. On the night of March 2nd, the nearly full moon will pass very close to Regulus, making it a great target for visual identification. Then, of course, you have Sirius and the Pup. It's a great time to go after Sirius and the Pup. And here's a chart showing that separation is still really good for right now. We're right about here. So you can see, great. I've seen the Pups 3 times now this season. Just awesome to take a look at. Planetary parade, March 1st through early March. 6 planets alignment, late February, this on Saturday, tomorrow. 4 planets remain easily visible to the naked eye early this week. Venus and Saturn, they're going to look low in the western sky shortly after sunset. Venus will be that brilliant white beacon. Saturn will appear as a dimmer yellow dot nearby. And you have Jupiter high in the southeast sky going up to zenith. Beautiful to look at the king of the planets this month. Still great target to share and look at. Mercury, you still may catch Mercury very low on the western horizon during the first few days of March, though it will quickly dip into the sun's glare and disappear by midweek. So you're going to have to do that early. And then, of course, Uranus and Neptune, while technically part of the lineup, they require binoculars or a telescope. Uranus is located in Taurus, just below the Pleiades, as you can see here. Neptune is near Saturn and Pisces very early in the evening as it's dipping very quickly below the horizon. Venus conjunction March 7th. Venus and Saturn reach a very close conjunction. The planets will be less than 1 degree apart within the width of an index finger at arm's length. So timing, look for toward the western horizon about 30 to 45 minutes after sunset. Visible to the naked eye, binoculars provide a stunning view of the pair together in the same field of view, and a low magnification eyepiece, wide field, and a telescope would probably offer a wonderful look too. Of course, you have Jupiter. It is peak altitude. It reaches the highest point on March 1st at about 8:40 p.m. local time, here Mountain Time, making it an ideal target for telescopes to observe its cloud bands and its 4 Galilean moons. Early in the week, March 1st, 2nd, the waxing gibbous moon will appear near Jupiter. It was that way last night when I was out looking at both. Actually sketched both last night. I'll be sharing that in an upcoming post. Deep sky this week. Deep sky is deep sky. We're beginning galaxy season here in March, and I talked about that earlier. I mean, fall you have Pegasus, Cetus. Winter you have Redness. Summer, Hercules, and other constellations. That there's always galaxies available, but you have to admit spring is the king of galaxy season. There's just such an abundance out there. The full moon, total lunar eclipse on March 3rd, dominate the early week. Don't even try for galaxies. Maybe later in the week, as the moon's rising, later in the evening, you might be able to get out and see things like the Leo triplet and a few of the other ones. For 4 to 6 inch telescopes this week, you can always look at Orion. It's always beautiful. Still high enough in the south after twilight for prime viewing. You got the Beehive cluster in Cancer, the Leo triplet, which is rising in the east right now. From a dark site would be good once the moon's out of the way. And Bodes and Cigar galaxies, Messier 81 and 82 and Ursa Major, always great to look at. And M37, the Salt and Pepper cluster in Auriga, still good to take a look at that. You got a 10-inch or larger scope or your imaging. You got the Whirlpool, was looking at that last week. Just beautiful to see the structure there. You can see its spiral arm structure and the bridge material connecting it to its companion 5195. You got the Rosette still, NGC 2237, Vast Emission Nebula, and Monoceros. It's best viewed with a 10-inch scope, UHC or O3 filter. Large aperture helps pull out the delicate petals of gas surrounding its central star cluster. The Pup, like I mentioned, in Sirius, 10-inch better if you're going to try visually. Marcane's Chain's coming up. It's a string of at least 8 galaxies in the heart of Virgo. Large telescopes are perfect for hopping from galaxy to galaxy along that 1.5 degree long arc. Don't forget the Owl Nebula, planetary nebula in Ursa Major, Messier 97. 10-inch scope with high magnification and a good O3 or UHC filter will reveal the 2 dark eyes that give the nebula its name. Lunar totality window during the 58 minutes of totality on March 3rd. The sky will darken dramatically. That's a bonus window to observe faint targets if you like the Leo triplet, or targets in Ursa Major if you want to try to go for that and just keep glancing at the moon. Post eclipse after March 4th, the moon will rise progressively later each night, and that leaves the early evening sky dark for several hours for prime galaxy hunting. Really, in the next 2 weeks after this week, we're going to be getting more and more into galaxies. I have news roundups over at EadsyAstronomy. I've put the link here. I've talked about we're looking at the heart of the Milky Way, losing our dark skies. Very real possibility there. It's really scary. I've done the astronomers of the week, the Herschels, Sir William, Carolyn, Sir John, predicting the next super flare from the sun is an article. Star WOHG 64, it's a massive star. It's heading into the danger zone, possible supernova coming. Star HD 6105 is teaching us what our sun was like as a teenager. Take a look at that one. And then I posted Hunting the Lion. It's an observing guide for the constellation of Leo. And then there's a link there, and we'll put that over there so you can go and take a look. Just a plug for membership. It's free if you want to be free. It gives you some additional benefits. Like when I put the observing programs out, I usually do a video for membership only that shows a little bit more detail using LiveSky and how to go after them and some things to do. And I share some of my actual observations in that list. So you get the newsletter a day early when I'm able to get it out. We'll start having observing sessions probably once a month during this week, come April, where we can get together online and talk and discuss about what we're going to do that month. And it's just $3 a month. It's like going, if you went to a local convenience store and got a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew or a water or a Monster drink. It's probably less than that. And the money, I'm not trying to get rich or anything. It just helps to offset some of the cost and time that I put into this. And I appreciate those who are members for free. Appreciate everybody who drops by. Appreciate people like Andrew Witt. Shout out to him for being a stargazer, contributing member to the site, just showing that there's, you guys see some value in what we're putting together here. As always, the newsletter is free as a Google Doc. There's the link. You can go to click on it, go to File, make a copy, have your own copy on Google Drive, and the PDF is attached. Thanks for joining me. We will catch you next time, and I'm gonna pop over and end the video because I'm not on my desktop. I'm doing it on my laptop, just trying it out. So you're probably gonna see the end there as I pop up on OBS.